The One Thing by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan is a powerful productivity and success philosophy built on a deceptively simple idea. Extraordinary results don't come from doing many things at once, but from focusing intensely on the one most important thing that drives everything else forward. The book challenges the modern obsession with multitasking, busyness, and balance, arguing instead that success is sequential, not simultaneous. You don't achieve big results by spreading your energy thin across many priorities. You achieve them by identifying what matters most and giving it your full attention. At the core of the book is a focusing question that acts as a guiding principle for decision-making and action. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it everything else will be easier or unnecessary? This question forces clarity. It eliminates distractions and helps you cut through noise. Instead of asking what you should do next, you ask what matters most. This shift in thinking is what separates average performers from extraordinary achievers. High achievers are not necessarily more talented or hardworking. They are simply better at prioritizing what truly matters and ignoring what doesn't. The authors begin by breaking down common myths about productivity and success that mislead people. One of the biggest lies is the idea that everything matters equally. In reality, not all tasks are created equal. Some actions have a disproportionately large impact compared to others. This is often referred to as the 80-20 principle, where a small number of efforts produce the majority of results. Successful people identify and focus on those high-impact actions instead of treating all tasks as equally important. Another myth is multitasking. The book explains that multitasking is not real productivity, it is actually task switching, which reduces efficiency and increases mistakes. When you constantly switch between tasks, your brain takes time to refocus, leading to lower performance. True productivity comes from deep, uninterrupted focus on a single task. The book also challenges the idea of discipline as something you must rely on constantly. Instead, it introduces the concept that success is about building habits that eventually require less discipline over time. Discipline is necessary in the beginning to form a habit, but once the habit is established, it becomes automatic. This is why consistency is more important than intensity. Small, focused actions done consistently over time lead to massive results. The authors emphasize that you don't need discipline for everything in your life. You only need enough discipline to build the right habits around your most important priorities. Another key idea is the concept of time blocking. If something is truly important, it deserves dedicated time on your calendar. Most people treat their most important work as something they will do when they find time, but that time rarely comes. Instead, the book suggests scheduling your one thing as a non-negotiable appointment. During this time, you eliminate distractions and focus completely on your priority. This is where real progress happens. Protecting your time is essential because distractions are everywhere, and without clear boundaries, your day gets consumed by less important tasks. The book also addresses the idea of balance and argues that perfect balance is a myth. Trying to give equal attention to all areas of life at all times leads to mediocrity. Instead, success requires purposeful imbalance. At different times, different areas of your life will demand more attention. When you are working on your one thing, you may need to temporarily neglect less important tasks. This is not a flaw, it is a necessary part of achieving extraordinary results. Over time, balance can be restored, but in the moment of focus, prioritization is key. Goal setting is another important theme. The authors suggest thinking big but acting small. Big goals provide direction and motivation, but they can also feel overwhelming. The solution is to break them down into smaller, manageable actions. You start by identifying your long-term goal, then determine what you can do this year, this month, this week, and today that moves you closer to that goal. This creates a clear path from where you are now to where you want to be. Each step builds on the previous one, creating momentum. The book also introduces the idea of the domino effect. Just like a single domino can knock over a much larger one, one small action can lead to a chain reaction of bigger results. When you focus on the right task, the one thing, you set off a sequence of events that leads to significant outcomes. This is why identifying the right priority is so important. Not all actions create this effect, but the right one can transform your progress. Energy management is another crucial aspect discussed in the book. Success is not just about managing time, it is about managing your energy. Your most important work should be done when your energy is at its peak. For many people, this is in the morning. By aligning your most important task with your highest energy levels, you increase your effectiveness and productivity. The book suggests taking care of your physical health, getting enough rest, and maintaining routines that support sustained focus. The environment you work in also plays a significant role. Distractions, interruptions, and clutter can all reduce your ability to focus. The authors emphasize the importance of creating an environment that supports deep work. This may involve turning off notifications, setting boundaries with others, or creating a dedicated workspace. Protecting your focus is essential because the ability to concentrate deeply is becoming increasingly rare and valuable in a world full of constant distractions. The book also highlights the importance of saying no. Every time you say yes to something that is not aligned with your one thing, you are saying no to what truly matters. Learning to decline unnecessary tasks, commitments, and distractions is a critical skill. It allows you to protect your time and energy for what is most important. This can be difficult, especially when there are social or professional pressures, but it is necessary for achieving extraordinary results. Accountability and tracking progress are also important. When you clearly define your one thing and track your progress, you create a sense of responsibility. This helps you stay consistent and motivated. Success is not about occasional bursts of effort. It is about sustained, focused action over time. By measuring progress, you can adjust your approach and stay on track. Ultimately, the one thing teaches that success is not complicated, but it requires clarity, focus, and consistency. Instead of trying to do everything, you identify what matters most and give it your full attention. By doing this repeatedly over time, you create extraordinary results. The message is simple but transformative. When you focus on less, you achieve more. The power of the one thing lies in its ability to cut through distractions, simplify decisions, and direct your energy toward what truly matters. When you align your actions with your most important priority, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary, and success becomes not just possible but inevitable.